Bars. Live
from the Windy C Radio studio in the shops at Iverson. This is the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WindyCRadio.com, the Windy C Radio app, Facebook Live and YouTube Live on the Windy C Radio pages, and of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, and everybody in between. Welcome to another special, brand new, jam-packed edition of the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is the one and only Bars. I'm your host, as I am every Wednesday, AJ Throwback. Great to be here with you on this beautiful, sunny, but chilly Wednesday in the DMV. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We are on Facebook Live. If you want to go to the Windy C Radio page, we are on Facebook Live right now. And of course, we are on the app and online, broadcasting live right here from the snickerdoodle capital of the world, shops at Iverson, Windy C Radio Studios. Gotta give a huge shout out starting off the show to my beautiful, talented, wonderful niece. That is Miss Avery Goings. If anybody is near a DVR or can set their DVR remotely, please make sure you record today's episode of The View. That's right, ABC's The View. She will be on there today. I don't want to give away what she's doing or anything like that. But she is going to be doing something special. I know it because she's Avery and she's a superstar, just like both of my nieces and my nephew are. Shout out to her parents, my brother Mike, my sis Sharice. Shout out to their entire family, man. They've been family goals for a very long time for me and the missus. And they're just doing an awesome job grooming all of them for greatness and grooming Avery for this moment. So shout out to them. I appreciate them. Love all of y'all. We got a packed show today. Got another family member of mine gonna be calling in about 13 minutes. That is hip-hop artist, Christian rap artist, C.W. Allen. He'll be talking about his musical endeavors as well as his forthcoming EP, The Dream Baby, which will be out on Friday. We'll be talking to him about that. And we'll be talking about elections in the 12 o'clock hour, how important these midterm elections are, especially in this political climate. And of course, the moment that many of you have all been waiting for, we'll be finding out who will be the arsonist of the month in our 5 Alarm Blaze countdown for October. So make sure you stay tuned for the entire show. It's going to be, like I said, jam-packed. But we're not going to waste too much more time. We're going to get right into the music. This is Ebony Joy with 1 in a Million, and you are listening to the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
I ain't one for the boys. I ain't one for the hoes. I treat him like a dope boy. I'm only there for the blow. Real thug like Wu-Tang. So the real know. That's why when they see me, the bad ones drop it down low, low, low. Pop it for a real one, hey. Pop it like you working down a DOA. Pop it like yo, good. And if yo, good, then baby, won't you come my way with it? Sipping on drink and a fitted. Dress not hat, bitch, class I ain't fitted. Teach you a lesson like I am a reverend. You're blessed in my presence, don't ever forget it. It's true, it's only one of me, and it's a million of you. Are you down or what? Tell me what you trying to do, cause it's only one of me, but it's a million of you. It's a million of you, just a million of you. Rolling through your city like a motherfucking dump truck. Laughing at your trashy ass, then throw you into my dumpster. I ain't got no need for gas, I'm cleaner than a hybrid. Fresher than your side chick, cooler than your main. It's true, it's a million of you. So I move how I move, I swerve my way through, cause that is contagious. I'm dodging these like they got the flu. One touch in my garment, and be thinking that they got the juice. One touch in my garment, be thinking that they got the juice. 1 in a million like my name is Aaliyah, Helen Keller to the book. I don't really see it now. call you ET, you should take yours back. It's only one of me, and it's a million of you. Are you down or what? Tell me what you tryna do. Cause it's only one of me, but it's a million of you. 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 Cause it's only one of me, but it's a million of you. It's a million of you. Just a million of you.
And said to me, a stroke of love called you. One in a million you. A one in a million you.
If you're an urban contemporary indie artist, then this is your platform. Send us clean versions of your music to Balancing Act Radio Show at gmail.com. That's Balancing Act Radio Show at gmail.com.
I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. Feeling like Jordan on his first win, or maybe Jackson on his first hit, or probably Myers on his first kill. Tyson when he first bit. Holyfield, yeah, for real, boy, I'm going in. Salute me, I'm the general, sworn in. Recruit me, I'm the best if you want to win. Posted up on the O, I'm on in. Michael been my idol since 10. Legends, put my picture right beside them. Hall of Fame if you ever try and find them. I'm in the game, you just on the sideline, Slim. I'm going in like MJ, pass me the glove. Michael Myers in the movie, his bound to be blood. Perfected everything that I do, I'm the greatest like Michael. Though I was told I would never be nothing, same thing they told Michael. Now I kill everything, mask on, mask off like Michael. And I'm in the booth right now with the best engineer named Michael. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Tyson in the ring, who won't beat me? Michael Irvin in his prime for a TD. Mike Jones, nah, that would never be me. Mike Jack, Motown on your TV. I'm the best there is. I'm in the league on my own. Jordan in the fourth. I went in this on the road. Wait, what you know? Give me my crown and my throne, cause I'ma sit here all alone. Been in my zone since my man Mike came home. Now Mike dead and he gone. Everybody named Michael, should've been my name all along. Should've been my name. Michael Phelps in the water, baby, I'm swimming for gold. Michael Carter went platinum, Carter for 1 million sold. Over 1 million sold. If my name was Michael, would I get chose? To sit with the legends? Guess we'll never know. Now we'll never know. But I'ma live like Michael. This is all I know. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Michael. Jordan, no Jackson, no Tyson, no Myers. I'm in the league with my idols. I'm Michael. Jordan or Jackson or Tyson or Myers. I'm in the league with my idols.
If you're an urban contemporary indie artist, then this is your platform. Send us clean versions of your music to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Yeah, venomous, federal, you know. Sometimes we on the love show. Just let me talk to you for a second. Listen. Yeah. We used to say it's us against the world. Fell in love way before I was your girl. Combos on the Skype, talking late night. Kiss you like I mean it when we out on date night. You my little vixen, what you like to say. Kinda shy till I'm showing off that negligee. I cried for you every time you had to walk away. I tried harder even when you said you couldn't stay. Close my eyes, now we laying on the beach. Lotion on my thighs, hands on my peach. I'm the student, man, I love it when you teach. Even when I travel, I ain't never out of reach. Kept it classy, but my mind in the gutter. Matching furs, matching kicks in the summer. Love it when you tell me that no one can come above her. A diamond in the rough when she shines like no other, yeah.
Baby, where you wanna go? Tell me. Anywhere, just let me know. We'll go far away from here. We'll make everything alright. Baby, where you wanna go? Tell me. Anywhere, just let me know. We'll go far away from here. Far away. We'll make everything alright.
You always used to say I was your goddess. I don't share much, but I kept it honest. Kept me smooth in the water, so unpolished. I ain't never stressed, cause you kept me well acknowledged. Was thicker than the thieves in the night. More than just your hand, played your left and your right. Living like a movie where we flying through the night. Fresh out the gate, chicks is rude out of spite. And I ain't even noticing the bras. I'm snapping passports, collecting my awards. Busy trying to make my ends and open doors. Texting from my show when I'm out of all these tours. I never seem to think that it would end. Signals getting crossed, now he mad at me again. No matter what, I just hope you comprehend. Daydreaming on this flight, wish that I was home again. Come on.
Baby, where you wanna go? Tell me. Anywhere, just let me know. We'll go far away from here. We'll make everything alright. Baby, where you wanna go? Tell me. Anywhere, just let me know. We'll go far away from here. We'll make everything alright.
Yeah. Venomous. Lil G.
Tell me what you
Yes.
want, babe.
You know.
Anyway, just let me know.
Sometimes it's like that.
Far away
Far away.
from here. We'll make everything
Talk to
alright.
Federal.
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
That was Venomous featuring Lyric G with Far Away. Before that, we had Young Gifted with Michael, and starting off the set, we had Ebony Joy with 1 in a Million. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now on Facebook Live. I see you, Cuzzo, my cousin Darnell, Miss Razzle Dazzle, one of the hardest working people. You know what I'm saying? Just grinding. My Aunt Marie tuned in right now. The Mrs. I seen you I know you watching, babe. So, you know, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Salute the queen. Neen from Let's Be Clear. They'll be on next Tuesday right here, WinDCRadio.com, 6 to 8 p.m. Great show. You know what I'm saying? The fellas were on last night of Mike's Corner. They had a great show last night. Yeah, just shout out everybody that's watching. My bro, Mike, you know what I'm saying? Mike Forrest, that is. M. Dot, a.k.a. M. Dot. You know what I'm saying? Shout out everybody that's watching. We're about to get into our guest, waiting for him to call in. So definitely, you know what I'm saying, looking forward to that. And here we go right now. Dub.
What's good, man?
What's going on? What's going on? We gonna bring you in properly with the intro music. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
All right. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
Whether they're artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, politicians, activists, or simply folks you need to know, we've got the line to the movers and shakers of DC, Maryland, Virginia, and beyond. This is 15 minutes of game on the Balancing Act Radio Show.
Yes, and we are here with our special guest of the day, hip-hop artist, Christian rap artist, C.W. Allen.
What's up, man?
Welcome to Bars, brother. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm good, bro. Well, I'm good overall. So I woke up.
Okay.
And, you know, when you live in that normal life, I look outside and a cat ripped all the garbage up, dog.
Oh, man.
I was like, I got this interview in 3 minutes. I got to get this garbage up.
Yeah.
I feel like I just jumped on the Stairmaster, cuz.
Oh, man.
But I'm good, though, man. I can't complain.
That's good. You know, this has been an interview I've been looking forward to for weeks now. You know what I'm saying? The family is all tuned in, so everybody's they've been waiting with bated breath. Good brother.
My man, shout out to the family. Thanks for having me. It's a blessing, bro.
Absolutely. So I gotta start off the interview because I've been following your music now for, you know, over a year, and one of the things that I kind of noticed, I don't know if people have told you this, but I don't know, you have like this striking, like vocally, you have this striking resemblance to Kanye West. And I don't know whether, you know, he was like a huge influence in terms of in terms of your style or anything like that. Cause clearly when it comes to subject matter, especially these days, y'all are miles and miles apart. You know what I mean? But like, I don't, so, you know, like, I don't know whether he was one of your influences, like as you've, you know, come into, you know, loving hip hop and being a part of the culture, but if not, talk about who are some of your influences coming up.
Yep. Well, so it's funny with the whole Kanye thing. Actually, growing up, I didn't listen to Kanye. So I was in Cleveland, and, you know, of course, Bone Thugs and Harmony, you had No Limit Soldiers, all the Southern influx during my middle school, high school years.
Yeah.
But I didn't rap at all. So for me, it was more like I just loved listening. Like, I was one of those kids who would go to sleep listening to music, wake up, get on the bus listening to music, you know?
Yeah.
And just draw pictures. So that was me. But I got hit to Kanye probably in 2009. My man was like, yo, you never heard of Kanye album? I'm like, no, I think he whack, bro. And this was probably his high points, right? Like when he was killing it the most.
Yeah.
And I got hip. And I listened to Graduation and was like, yo, this dude is amazing.
Yeah.
So, honestly, like, he's probably my favorite quote-unquote artist for some of his work. But I have heard that even before I listened to him. And I thought it was funny because I thought he was whack. You know? But, yeah, I think he's dope. So I would definitely say he's an influence, as well as, you know, just a blend of different artists that I've listened to over the years.
Yeah. That's really interesting that like you had that resemblance before you even knew who he was or really got hip to him or even started liking him, you know. So that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of like East Coast guys, especially mostly on the Christian side, like the Cross Movement and the Truth and guys like that. So I think a lot of like my cadence and the way I rap in the pocket came from them. But then naturally my Midwest allowed me to still be able to do some of the, you know, quick tongue type stuff like a twist or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's dope. And you actually, since you just mentioned the Truth in what you just said, let's that's actually a good segue into one of my questions I did have for you. So you actually, so he's one of the people you actually open for, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, so like you open for the Truth, you open for Sean C. Johnson. Is the name Thistle? Is that?
Yeah, Thizzle.
Okay,
yep,
Thizzle. Okay.
Yep.
So, you know, I mean, you've opened for some pretty notable artists. But of course, one of the artists that I think most people recognize, like secular, Christian, whatever it might be, is the legendary Kurtis Blow. And
yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, for you, I mean, you can answer this for all of the people you've opened for, but what did it mean to you to be able to open for somebody who's one of the biggest pioneers in hip hop, especially, you know, because he ended up being born again nearly 25 years ago, now is an ordained minister for nearly 10 years and is the founder of the Hip Hop Church in Harlem. So like, what did it mean for you to be able to open for him?
Yeah. Kurtis was a great guy, bro. Really down to earth. And it was how it kind of happened was that he was putting together a compilation album, and a pastor friend here in Chicago, Pastor Phil, actually was like, yo, I want you to submit some music. And I submitted one of my older songs, Transparent Music, and he liked it. And so he put it on his album. He's like, I think it was like Hip Hop Meets the Church or something like that.
Okay.
And he chose it. And so when I actually met him in person and I told him my name, he's like, oh, the one with the strings on the song. So like he had listened, and then, you know, the same guy who hooked it up and put on a outdoor revival type of thing where they blocked off the street and put up a stage. And so I did a couple songs after him. It was a funny situation, like, because on one hand I was super excited to experience him. He was in the 60s, still could perform, all of that, which was dope.
Yeah.
And I went, most openers usually go before, they put me after for some reason. And so I get up on stage and like, yeah, C.W. Allen. And everybody ran backstage to go see him. Me rapping to an old lady in the front.
Yeah.
A couple people. It's one of those moments where I cherished the opportunity and getting to meet him, but I thought it was super funny that it worked out like that, where it was like, you open, but they kind of was like chilling with Kurtis.
Yeah.
He sucked my juice out.
Yeah.
He MC hammered me.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. I mean, yeah, when you on stage with a legend like that, it's.
That's right.
Yeah, it's hard to keep the bit of juice you do have. Yeah, but that's
yeah, man. Well, he was the first like hip hop dude to really get a major deal. Mm-hmm. So it's people who's been following him for years, and it's great that guys like him are still going and making avenues for younger artists, because I feel like a lot of times, if we're honest, a lot of the artists kind of quit when they get around their 30s in hip hop.
Right.
And you really had a Jay-Z, but we don't have artists who are like Prince or Michael Jackson who are in their 50s and 60s who still can do a cruise ship or a world tour like like what's her name, Sade, who does one every 10 years.
Yeah.
We don't typically have that in hip hop because it's this narrative that once you get a certain age, it needs to be over. You can't be involved with it, but it's cool to see some older cats still involved in some way.
Yeah, and that's something that I always think about, especially when it comes to hip hop, because they'll say it's a young man's sport, but I believe that a lot of times the older artists who are able to still remain relevant or still remain like ingrained in the culture are the ones who reach back and they reach out to the younger generation. They don't cut themselves off from the younger generations, and that's something I can definitely see. I've definitely seen Kurtis Blow do, you know, because, you know, of course I follow him on IG, but just following his career over the years, period, you know, because I came up listening to him as a kid. My dad was playing Kurtis Blow, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's always good to see artists like him still, not only still at it, but still reaching back in order to bring other people up and sharpen them and make them better. Because, I mean, like the saying goes, iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
I mean,
it's you got to.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. This was something I remember going to a church years ago, probably almost 10 years ago, and I remember the pastor at the church. You know, like I was on board with him and everything up to that particular point, but then he started downing rap music, but specifically in the context of Christian hip hop. And one of the things that he said that it rubbed me the wrong way was that he felt like it was, I guess in so many words he was saying it was an inferior art form in the sense that it's bringing God down to us. And as a lover of hip hop, as an active member of the hip hop culture, and also as a Christian, I'm not gonna lie, I was offended and insulted, because the way I looked at it was, you know, you're being led by somebody that's extremely closed-minded toward to the power of all genres of music being used to connect people to God, and you know, like just completely poo-pooing all over hip-hop like that. I was just like, wow, like I'm not gonna lie, like it turned me off from wanting to go to his church, because it's like, how are you going to be able to connect with the younger audiences who don't listen to might not listen to the traditional forms of gospel music, you know what I'm saying, or Christian music, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to reach them in all ways. So I wanted to ask you, why you felt like it was important for hip hop to be an integral part of the narrative and soundscape of Christianity, especially in a new era where hip hop is one of the biggest, most influential genres in the world.
It's the biggest.
Yeah,
it's the biggest.
Exactly, exactly. So know, like talk to me and talk to my listeners about why you feel like it's important for hip hop to be a part of that conversation, and why you feel like it's important for you to why that's an important art form of expression for you.
Right. Yeah, I think it's crucial. One, we have to understand the Bible for what it is. Like, a lot of people, the Bible is one of those things where everybody's an expert, but nobody want to go to school for it, right? Like, it's very few of us who went to Bible college who learn how to properly read the Bible. And that's not to say everyday people can't read the Bible correctly or get tools, but it's just to say, like, you don't question a doctor on the certain medicine they prescribe when they look at you and, you know, hit your knee with the hammer and say, oh, you got arthritis, you need this type of medicine or whatever. But with the Bible, it's one of those things where we do that as a culture. Like, it's the one thing that's always being criticized, and you always criticize the professionals who are doing it. And when I listen, and that's not the conversation you just brought up. I'm just building a baseline for what I'm gonna say here.
Right.
So the Bible, one, we have to properly understand the Bible, but then we also need people like yourself, like me, who understand the culture of hip hop. Like, hip hop is more than just a musical genre. It's a culture. Like, the kids who started hip hop at these parties in the Bronx and these DJ competitions and dance competitions or whatnot, they were the schools that took away their instruments. This was the way they created instruments. They took vinyl players and made them an instrument where that's one of the most creative things that you could think about doing. Right. And so for them, this was the only avenue they had to express. So they flipped these jazz and funk and disco records and made a whole new genre. And so a lot of times the problem I have with pastors who talk that way is, one, they don't have a good understanding biblically, because when you look throughout the Bible, you see that God is the artist, the ultimate artist.
Right.
And God owns everything. So even even if I don't agree with, you know, a certain artist's philosophy or what they say and believe in, I still could be like, yo, that's fire. And God gifted them to make that. Like, that's a reality. God is still glorified even when he's disglorified with what they say, you know, or do.
Yeah.
But he still takes glory in the fact that they're doing it. And it's the same with hip-hop just in general. Like, God is pleased when hip-hop is done well, and he's even more pleased when it's done well and it honors him and his word.
Right.
And so for a pastor to say that, one, I think it's more preference than it is Bible. And that's a problem because you shut people out who would lovingly, who are looking for something spiritually, but they don't fit, right? And this is the issue we're having with those who are in the LGBT community right now, is that even though we may have a certain preference depending on your church denomination, what the Bible says about that, we still need to foster a community that says we love you, we want you here, we want to spend time with you, get to know you, and allow God and his word and his spirit to do the work in your heart.
Absolutely.
That's where we start.
Yeah.
We start with loving people, and we let God do the work. And when you think about artists, it's the one group of people that I think is just so misunderstood by the church. The church doesn't know what to do with artists. They didn't know what to do with it with Mahalia Jackson, with Kirk Franklin. Every time something new comes up, the church pushes back. They did it with Jesus too. He was new, and they pushed back on him. You know, so it's just a reality that we're going to go through. But I'm really bothered by the talk that this is what the Bible thinks about that, because you're leaning more on tradition and you're acting like a Pharisee when you do that instead of the Bible.
Right. Right. That's an excellent way to put it. Excellent way to put it. You know, I just believe in being open-minded and leaving, I mean, especially with the younger generation, because you have so many in the younger generation that are frankly turning away from church. And you don't want to. I always think of the age-old saying, you know, like, you might be the only bit of Jesus somebody sees in a day. You know,
that's
and
right.
You don't want to be that person in a position of leadership who, because you are holding on to a particular tradition, or like you said, like a preference, you end up turning away a soul who wanted to be saved. You know.
Yeah. Well, think about a church, like, and I know we probably not supposed to be talking about ecclesiology right now, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah. When you think about the way that a church is made up, whoever the lead pastor is, or the pastoral team, that's typically what the congregation looks like. So if you want, like people say, this multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-generational church, then you need to have that reflected in your leadership, and they need to have a voice as well. It can't just be, because if your pastor's 70, 80, only listens to this music or whatnot, there's nothing wrong with their preference, but if they don't have other leaders around them who reflect the community or reflect the times that we're currently in, they're not going to have those people in their church, and it's going to die out. And that's a reality.
Right. Very true. Very true. I appreciate your feedback on that, especially as somebody who is studied in the word. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate your take on that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So let's get to your EP you're putting out this Friday, correct?
Yep.
The Dream Baby.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about leading up to, because we're going to get into breaking down some bars, of course. But before we do that, one of the things I wanted to ask you about was you had a question in your press release where you said, what happens when the dreamers find themselves at an intersection between hoping and how things really are? So what I wanted to ask you was, how do you believe the Dream Baby answers that question?
Yeah. So the Dream Baby this is the first part of what I'm hoping to be many, probably 4 or 5 seasons of it. And the first one basically throws the question out there and leaves it a little open-ended towards the end as you listen to, like, Unsaid Things and Ecstasy. But I feel like the Dream Baby kind of begins to punch at these questions. Let me rephrase that, because I feel like that kind of like what I told you earlier, the church is one of the most misunderstood groups, and not just the church, but in society in general. Like when I tell people I'm an artist or speak to family members about it, most are pretty supportive or whatnot. They're like, huh, that's a job, you can do that, you know, type of thing. But it's always this idea, like, at what point are you gonna say I need to hang it up because I didn't make it? And we have to decide. We have to define what making it really is. Like, what is true success? To me, now that I'm, you know, a little older, I've grown up, and I don't see it as being rich and famous as success. For me, success is I can pay my bills. My marriage is doing well because I'm handling business with my job. I'm able to consistently put out music, tour, and God is pleased with what I'm doing. To me, that's successful. Now, ideally, I would love to have a 401k set up, the health insurance nice, you know, a nicer car, you know, or the house of my dreams or whatever. But those things are more of like, some of them I think are necessary, like health insurance, but like a bigger house, a better car, looking super successful to people, my Instagram numbers, that stuff is subjective because, like, I have people that I know personally who have 25,000, 10,000 followers, but they can't bring 10 people out to their top market musically.
Right.
You know, they can't bring 10 people out to a show. So for me, that intersection is like, I wrote that question because I was going through a season and still very much do as a full-time artist where I wonder, am I good enough? You know, I have plenty of friends who make good money and are living good, who are my age and older, and it seems like they get to do what they're made to do and still make good money. And I'm like, God, can I just be one of them?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
You know, can I buy my mom a house to set her up for retirement one day?
Yeah.
So, you know, just the idea of wanting to, be proud of what you've done, but then also have others around you kind of validate it, which I feel like as an artist, and I see it often with artists, that just doesn't happen. And so you look and you're like, am I not hitting the mark of what reality should be? Am I like tripping? Am I just broken or something? You know, and it goes back to what our culture says about artists, like, get a real job, you know.
Right.
Most people don't understand entrepreneurs or people won't work 9 to 5s anyway, let alone them be an artist and a starving artist at that. You know.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of where I was going with that question, and I'll begin to unpack it as you walk through my journey of life, politics, and faith, and all that stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, I thought that was a really interesting question to pose, because I think a lot of people will be able to, especially whether you're an artist or, like you said, whether you're an entrepreneur, just somebody who's not handcuffed by the rigors and what can be the monotony of a traditional 9-to-5 job. You know, it's like you want to be realistic about it without sacrificing so much of your dream to the point where you're not even dreaming anymore, you know.
Right. And that's kind of what I want to get across with the Dream Baby, is that not that this is a project strictly for artists or people who are entrepreneurs, but that that's my bent and where I'm coming from. But I want to write music in a way where everyone could say, man, I want to be a dream baby. Like, I want to have the imagination and excitement about life that I had when I was a kid.
Right.
I live in a realistic world where I pay my bills, take care of my responsibilities, but I still can dream and imagine. I still can sit down and color with life, so to speak. And we lose that in our American culture because of the structure and the work mentality we have. So whether you have a 9-to-5, you're working your dream job, or whatever the case, like, God wants us to be dreamers. Yeah. He made us to dream so that we can encourage other people, so that we could change the world around us.
Yeah. That's powerful. That's absolutely powerful. And it actually, what you just said actually segues right into my next question about actually the artwork. You had said something in that last statement about being a kid. And what I find interesting in the change in your artwork was that your original artwork is you present day, you know, holding the mic, appearing to be on stage and everything. But then you switched it to an image, you know, a sketch of somebody who's younger in the, you know, in the limelight. The disposition looks like, you know, it's like more innocence, more like naive to certain things. And, you know, this is just, you know, my interpretation of the artwork. Like almost looking kind of afraid, like, you know, this is my path. Like, am I really meant to do this? Or, you know, can I thrive at this? It's a lot that you can take from the body language of what appears to be a younger you, or just a younger person, period. So talk about how you feel like, you know, pulling this audible kind of almost at the last minute with your cover art, how you feel like it better conveys the overall concept and message of the Dream Baby, like this particular EP, the series overall, than maybe the original cover did.
Yeah, I hope that last minute switch don't affect my playlist is on Spotify. I had to take it down and put it up. So make sure y'all go listen Friday. But I feel like it really does encapsulate the idea of a Dream Baby. So the artist Josie, who drew it for me, I asked her to create a kid between 11 and 12 years old who is like doing music or whatever kind of shot. So I think you hit it dead on. But the idea is like he's in this empty room by himself. It could be practice. It could be just nobody showed up to the show. Yeah. I got stories about that if you want to hear them. But I wanted the reason I switched to art is because, one, I wanted the series to kind of grow with me. So, you know, in a perfect world, the Dream Baby series ends in a year and I'm doing a new project. And in a real life world, it could be 10 years from now and you see 5 or 6 projects come out over that span of time, and I deal with what does marriage look like 5 years from now for me? What does, you know, my career look like? Am I drawing it to a close? Am I transitioning? What does the world look like in politics and the presidency and all of that stuff? So I wanted the series to have room to grow with me, and so I wanted to take it away from my picture and allow the listener to kind of be able to interpret what they saw like you did. So someone will probably get some of the same things you got, which I wanted, but they also will get, oh, that's me, and I'm going through this journey as well and growing with it. So hopefully the rest will have the cartoon art as the guy gets older.
That's a great idea. Great concept. I think that last part that you said, it's good sometimes to leave certain things open to interpretation, and that's the beauty of like artwork, like along those lines, because anybody can see themselves. I mean, I feel like if you're relatable, period, people can see themselves in you anyway, but when you leave it that open-ended, people can connect to it even more, you know. So I thought it was a really good move, you know, at the last minute, so to say. But I think it's gonna work well for the series artistically.
Thanks, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was really pleased with the art. And originally I tried to draw it and make it right, and I was close, but I'm so rusty with my artwork, my drawing. But she nailed it, bro. She brought to life exactly what was in my head, and I was like, this is a God-given thing, because for it to line up this well, it's just crazy. Like, it was things when I sent her the description that I left out that she automatically put in and thought of, and I was like, I wasn't gonna say it because I didn't want you to work too hard. But she did it, and I was just like, whoa, like, this is crazy.
That's
so
amazing.
You know, I'm really pleased by the artwork. It's some of my favorite artwork to date.
It's dope, man. It's dope. It's great, a great change. So the last thing that I want to ask you about, we're gonna break down some bars for the last question. So for me, from what, you know, I've heard the whole EP. It's a dope EP, and my favorite song on the Dream Baby is Unsaid Things. And you know, like and you know, we talked about it. You were saying how, like, you were saying a couple people have said it, you know, they've heard it already. But I wanted to break down the first, I want to say it's the first 8 bars of your second verse, and you got like really candid. All right, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you
I
said.
was worried about that the most on the whole project.
So you say, I love Christian rap and all that it's been, but if I'm honest, I ain't been feeling when I'm listening in. A lot of music getting trite, adulting is getting light. Whoever's flying the highest is jacking another's flight. I accept the call, but the politics played. If I'm not getting co-signed, my records won't get played. If my music ain't fluffy, then I won't get booked. And the festivals is small when your hue look cooked. So I wanted you to like.
You make me sound so good, man.
I mean, you do though. You do. So, but you know, I wanted you to kind of like, you know, quickly like elaborate on some of the experiences that like inspired those particular 8 bars in Unsaid Things.
Yeah. I guess we can start bar for bar. So, I love Christian rap and all of this band, but if I'm honest, I've been discouraged when I'm listening in. So for me,
oh no! Oh, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. This. Give me 1 second, everybody. Sometimes this system acts a little squirrely. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. I apologize for everybody. We having some technical difficulties. The phone line decided to want to just shut down on us. So, you know, it's live. We still rolling, but we gonna get C.W. Allen back on the line. So if you just bear with me 1 second, I will get him back on the line. C.W., if you still listening, you can go ahead and call back in, brother. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes it just happens like that. Let me let him know. Sorry for the delay. But yeah, it's been a good interview so far until that happened. You know, so C.W. Allen should be calling back in a second so he can finish answering. All right, we got him back. My apologies for that, cuz.
Oh, you good, man. You good.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Finish what you were saying.
Yeah. So it's a combination of things. I'm an artist, and I don't want to say it in an arrogant way, but like I draw cartoons, graphic design. I love to create like art and not just copy other people's art. And so for me, when I look at Christian hip hop, the thing that bothers me often is that whoever seems to be gaining the most notoriety is just blatantly copying someone else.
Right.
Like it's borderline irritating. You know, people in the church don't really realize it because they probably don't listen to mainstream anymore. I have to keep my ear to the streets.
Right.
But like there's artists I've listened to and I'll be like, yo, that was so dope. How they come up with that sound or that vibe? And then I'll listen to WGCI that's here in Chicago. And I'll be like, oh, they copied it.
Yeah.
And it's just, but it's not a thing of like a little cadence here and there or a little sound. It's like got the whole style. They want to rap just like the person, sound like the person, take the subject matter, make it Christian. And I'm just like, that's corny, bro. Like when I was growing up, when you was growing up, we were in an era where it was dope to be unique as a hip hop artist, and you had to be, like, or you wouldn't be heard. There was no copy, you know, gimmicky rap like it kind of is now. And that's not to say that I don't like some of the newer sounds, but what I don't like is when everybody copies.
Right.
And so, like, I listened to Eminem's new album, and Eminem's new album is still classic Eminem, but he ingrained some of the newer styles in it.
Right.
And newer sounds. So that's what I want to see with artists. And I feel like in Christian hip hop, a lot of times that doesn't happen. And it's kind of like this healthy substitute for what you would get on the radio. And I'm like, but if we guys people, we should be the most creative ever. Like
Right.
David was not just an amazing warrior. David was the person they chose to come play the lyre for Saul when he was afflicted. He was the one they chose in the whole town. They said, "Oh, have you heard of David?" And so I think, like, how do we get to the place where people are like, "Oh, have you heard of such and such? They so dope. Book them." Regardless of what we believe, that people would just be like, "Yo, that's just a dope artist." And a lot of times in the Christian world, Christian hip hop world, we're just not inventing new sound and new stuff. We're just copying what's out. It's cool. It's cool to take some things. You do that. Everything's reinvented and remixed.
Yeah.
But don't copy word for word. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So that bothers me. And I feel like those are the people who kind of get the most notoriety or shows or whatever, push. And then what was the other bar that you wanted to hit on? The festivals are small when you look cooked.
Yeah.
So I actually called. I was doing my booking in the winter, and I was hitting different spots up. In one place, I had performed at once, and they I'm hearing an echo on there. I don't know if it's my phone or not. Could be me. But I hit them up, sent them an email, and they hit me back about 4 months later. And the lady was like, "Oh, we had a great time when you came to the festivals. You were great." And these people had booked me for 2 festivals. So one was an all-Christian festival.
Yeah.
And then the other one was a mainstream festival, but they just had a Christian stage. And so I was one of the few hip-hop artists there.
Okay.
So for me, it was like I get to encourage people who might not hear this anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I hit them back for the same festivals, and she sent me an email like, "Yo, it was great. We had a good response. We loved your music, but unfortunately, we only doing a CCM stage this year." CCM is Christian contemporary music, like Chris Tomlin, worship.
Yeah.
But, AJ, I'm like, this is 2018.
Right.
Hip-hop is the most popular genre in the world.
Right.
And you mean to tell me you only doing a Christian contemporary stage, which is predominantly white music,
right,
at a multicultural, non-Christian festival? Are you serious?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing it. And so then I went on Google and I looked up all the Christian festivals, and because that's a lane I fit well in. I don't always do that lane, but it works well for me. And all the festivals were the same few Christian, white Christian bands, David Crowder, King and Country, very talented, but same ones at all the different festivals. And these are international, national, and then they might have one rapper, right? 1 or 2 rappers, and they're usually like white.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, where do we even fit as a people?
Right.
We don't have infrastructure. We don't have money. And there's no touring networks. It's very unprofessional. So many different things that I began thinking about and seeing as I worked in Christian hip hop, but then in the Christian world in general. And I'm like, this is an issue.
Yeah.
And it was just frustrating. It was, like, how do I even make a career? One hip hop artist was saying he was talking with someone who used to do hip hop and in a Christian spirit, and he was like, how do people even make money now? Because for us, it used to be like youth groups and things like that, but they aren't really bringing artists out anymore because the money's short. And it's like I had to begin to carve a new lane now where I'm thinking a little outside more broadly,
Yeah, I can definitely understand.
Frustrating times, man. Frustrating times.
Yeah. But I definitely appreciated the candor that you brought to those particular bars. And I mean, it is. I don't care what genre you're in. Like you're gonna face some kind of opposition, or you're gonna face some kind of obstacles in terms of like trying to get out there and trying to get the opportunities and the looks so that you can, especially if you're in, the lane of Christian hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like you're trying to get a certain message to people. You're trying to, but in the way that you do it, but you have these obstacles in the way. So, I definitely appreciated you, like just being honest in that moment. Because, you know, some people,
Yeah.
you know, they might be a little bit afraid to, you know, say those types of things. But, like, I appreciate
Right.
your boldness in saying it because it needed to be said. Because, I mean, you
Well,
have to
yeah.
break down a lot of those barriers, you know.
Right. And keep it one. And if I keep it 100, like most of the pay and things that I, you know, shows I get that are paid and whatever, it isn't in the Christian world. Like I get more accepted in a non-Christian world than I do in a Christian one, as far as musically. And I hate that that's a reality, but that's what's paying the bills. So for me, like if the Christian hip hop industry accepts what I said or my music, I had to be okay with saying it is what it is because this ain't where my check is coming from anyway. Excuse me. So I'm more of an artist for the people. Like the people that listen validate me. It's never been a label or a cosign from a big record company or anything like that. It's just been people who love me and support me who have helped me to go travel, you know, overseas and do tours and things like that. So for me, it was kind of like, yeah, for some people they may feel some type of way and not have you on their site, but it is what it is. This needs to be said.
Right, absolutely. So
Yeah.
let everybody know when, you know, where they can get the Dream Baby once it comes out, when it comes out. Of course, we said Friday, but just give everybody
Yep.
the particulars and also let everybody know where they can connect with you on social media.
Yeah. So everything is at thecwallen.com. That's my website, and then all my social media is DCWAllen. There's a weird guy who's not really, his real first name is not CW, but he stole my name, so I can't get my handle. But DCWAllen. The EP will be out everywhere, all major digital outlets, your Spotify's, all that. If you go to my Instagram links or Facebook or whatever page, you can pre-save the EP where to pop up in your Corey and all that, your Q and all that stuff. So yeah, that's where it's at.
All right. Before we queue up your single that's out, I gotta let you know, Aunt Marie, you know, she said preach, my nephew.
I'm going. Hey, I'm gonna have to make Aunt Marie the leader of my fan club, man. She go hard. I love Aunt Marie.
Yes, indeed. We all love Aunt Marie. You know what I mean? And
yeah, she's great.
Yeah, cousin Keisha, she said please tell him his message is for the sick anyway. So, you know.
My man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Keisha.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and you can go ahead and introduce for the people the lead single for the Dream Baby.
Yeah, you want an explanation or just an intro?
You can give me an intro. That's cool.
Okay. All right. This is Do With It. Do With It is a joint that Leo, like if you're an underdog, if you get the opportunity, show them you know what to do with it.
All right. So y'all make sure y'all check out that Dream Baby on Friday, and we gonna go ahead and play Do With It right now, right here on Bars.
Definitely.
Kids, I'm back again, but back again, back again. Hello kids, I'm back again, but back again, back again. Hello kids, I'm back again, but back again, back again.
Hello kids, I'm back again, but back again, back again.
Hello kids, I'm back again. Dropping them hooks like Floyd and in with a light makeover like Lil' Kim. Building my team like I'm playing Sims. Characters like 2K. Never sidelining like Boucher. FC on the beat with the heat for the street and the flow so free. Got 'em feeling like me. Ain't nobody could stop me now. Cause my father gon' hold me down. And my brother got hands too. Stretching things when the drama flew. Ops looking so miserable. Can't take us from finals view. Yeah, the season looking nice and the team looking right, but the king still running you. Put my bets on him, that's a gamble, said I roll with that. I don't talk to the universe, just got along cause he made that. Brian Bronner, Wakanda, ain't talking none of them partner. Just showing love to the real throne and the one begotten of the Father. Let's go. Do it for my people cause I know they love the feeling. Power from above, so you know I keep believing. Do it with emotion cause I know the camera reeling. Yeah, we paint a picture even when the pain is killing. I know what to do with it. Do with it, do with it. Show you how to move with it. Move with it, move with it. I know what to do with it. Do with it, do with it. Show you how to move with it. Move with it, move with it. Let's go. Settled in, know what
know what to do, this ain't nothing new. Wrist still flicking like I'm cooking stew, like a cooking stew, like a cooking stew. God-given dream for the higher view, higher view, higher view. Grind so separate for the revenue. Gotta pay your dues, gotta pay your dues. Hybrid for the new school. Yeah. Tracks go trap, but the bars move. Yeah. Bando lines that serve you. Touch your soul like ribs do. One time for the ones who they see coming in, hit the snooze. Two times, I got you. They don't trump, that's fake news. So many got talent you can never defeat, but they dry like a whip with a boot in this week. Never leave them in a circle, no, they bound to tweak. Lost air with excuses, they bound to speak. We ain't got no time for the doubters and procrastinate on my Shannon Sharp, cause they skip all the nonsense.
Do it for my people, cause I know they love the feeling. Power from above, so you know I keep it leaning. Do it with emotion, cause I know the camera reeling. Yeah, we paint a picture even when the pain is killing. I know what to do with it, do with it, do with it. Show you how to move with it, move with it, move with it. I know what to do with it, do with it, do with it. Show you how to move with it, move with it, move with it. Let's go.
That's how we feel about this track right here. This is the Fish Grease Pick of the Week, only on Bars, on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
I can't even front. I might not feel this way tomorrow, but it's just how I'm feeling right now. Just gonna talk about it for a minute. Feeling so good, I can't even front. Been locked for a minute, but I got the bars up. Young rocket with the beard, bound to catch him off guard. Young boy from the land, check the stats on the card. 12 years in my lane, but my back ain't to the basket. Just started dunking, prime been busting. Hooks are like shots, cause they getting more clutching. Lines in the pocket, no linen. I'm so geared for the grind, built for the time, mission on my mind. I believe that Jesus is God, no doubt about it. And trying to put my trust in the ghost, no St. Patrick. Yeah, that's some power for the operation. And even though the work legit, investigation, my heart being broken, innocence stolen, uncolonized mind forward with the motion. I want a Luke Cage with my hoodie and hair, but feeling like Trayvon every minute they stare. Ain't a chaplain on the slave ship, keep the idol worship. NRA fighter ship, love is dead, modern tip. I'm getting snug in this underground. I know the industry, and it'll let you down. Yeah, once your relevance is through, then it's on to number 2. I don't wanna be a fool, rolling with open palms, locked titianing through, and keep a tight circle with the faithful, the few. Yeah. I love Christian rap and all that it's been, but if I'm honest, ain't been feeling when I'm listening in. A lot of music getting trite, adulting is getting light. Whoever fly the highest is jacking another's flight. I accept the call, but the politics played. If I'm lacking cosign, my records won't get played. If my music ain't fluffy, then I won't get booked. And the festivals is small when your hue look cooked. Peter Pan, I see the shadow coming. Elm Street dreams, I hear the claws chumming. Only so long before you figure your niche. I gave my 20s to the motions, now I'm making the switch. So you could keep your boxes, I'm boxing out of it. Jumping over it, homie, I'm CrossFit. And respect the OGs and the trail that you blaze. But if rapping ain't your passion, please don't jump on the wave. It's a new day, and the stage has been set. The harvest is plentiful, now it's time to collect. Yeah, said it's time to collect. The harvest is plentiful, now it's time to collect. Yeah.
More topics, more segments, more music means more bars after this. Vegas.
WinDC Radio brings to you the app. Yes, the app is now available on your Google Play and your App Store on your iPhone or your Android. Any of your pads that you might be using, be it if it's an iPad, iPad Mini, or if you have a Samsung Note, doesn't matter what you have, any mobile device, you can get the app so you can listen where you're at to WinDC Radio.
The Shops at Iverson is now undergoing a transformation, creating a mixed-use center where the community can come together to eat, shop, relax, and feel connected. The Shops at Iverson is a 600 KSF mixed-use property consisting of retail and office space now available. Located inside the Beltway on Branch Avenue, Maryland, just minutes from downtown D.C. It's an exciting time at the Shops at Iverson. Several beautiful renovation projects are ongoing, transforming the Shops at Iverson into the new safe community hub. DMV, get ready to enjoy the new food court. Opening late spring, early summer, featuring new restaurants like Chipotle, Quickway Hibachi, Tropical Smoothie, Wingstop, and free Wi-Fi. The Shops at Iverson, the original home of the world-famous Snickerdoodle cookies, is completing several cosmetic improvements to the mall interior, facade, and parking garage. The Shops at Iverson is the new home of Go Win Media, comprised of the DMV's premier internet radio stations, GoGo Radio Live and WinDC Radio. For updates and more details, check out shopiverson.com. That's shopiverson.com.
Foreplay the Orgasm Show. I am your host, Hot Toddy, along with the Turn Up team, Miss Lolly and Showtime. Foreplay the Orgasm Show is each and every Tuesday night from 8 to 10, bringing you the sexy slow jams with very adult interactive conversation, only on WinDC Radio.
What's good, everybody? This your boy AJ Throwback, and when I'm plugging away at work and need a shot of energy, I'm tuned into the hot topics, dope music, and wild styles of my brothers and the kings of Monday night, Coach Taylor and Ransom Relic. It's Breakout Kings Radio, Mondays from 8 to 10 p.m., only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app.
Powered by GoWin.media. We hope you didn't go too far. It's time for the second hour of the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. Right back like we left something with the official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond. Second hour of bars. I'm your host, AJ Throwback. Want to thank once again CW Island for that wonderful, awesome, great interview. Can't say it enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just love being able to interview people like that. And on top of that, he's family. So, you know, it's a bonus, you know. So what you heard going into the break was the song that we were talking about, Unsaid Things. That was our Fish Grease pick of the week. And starting off that particular set was Do With It. Both will be on the Dream Baby EP Volume 1, which will be out on Friday. Definitely want to send a shout out to everybody that is watching via the live. Again, my cousin Keisha, appreciate you tuning in. Aisha, sis, I see you. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you tuning in. M-Dot, of course. Everybody that's just, you know, showing love, supporting, sharing, spreading the word. Definitely appreciate and participating. And we're going to go ahead and get into this right here.
Very necessary commentary on the social, political, and economic issues stretching across party affiliations and demographic lines. This is the VNC, only on the Balancing Act Radio Show.
Yeah, so y'all are very well aware what time of the year it is. It is election season, and this is the midterm elections at that. And these are some of the most important elections that we have going on right now. A lot of times people seem to zero in and key in on the presidential elections, but what a lot of people have to understand is that these elections right here, the midterms, every, you know, those 2 years in between the presidential election, these are absolutely pivotal. One of the reasons being because, I mean, this determines a lot of times your local, your state. A lot of times those elections get swept under the rug, but without that local, without the states, a lot of times, like you don't get a lot of the things at the federal level. A lot of times it builds up. You know, a lot of times people look at it from a top-down perspective. In a lot of ways, it is top-down, but in a lot of ways, it's bottom-up. So it's very important for us to, you know, as voters, to zero in on how important these elections are. One of the ways in which we have to also understand the elections is the whole thing with the Electoral College. And this is something the Mrs. and I, we frequently talk about. She's very much an advocate for voting, as am I, but she's been very integral in like getting the word out and spreading information in terms of how important it is for people to vote. So for those who may not necessarily understand how the Electoral College works and why it's important, especially in this particular election cycle, this is how it works. So you have 538 electors who cast votes to decide the President of the United States and the Vice President of the United States. And of course, those of you who know, 270 or more wins the election. And whichever candidate wins the majority of the popular vote in each state wins all of that state's electoral votes, except in Nebraska and Maine, in which both candidates can receive electoral votes. So if we're going back thinking about the 2016 presidential election, Hillary Clinton, she won, I think it was she had beaten Donald Trump by 2.9 million votes in the popular vote. So a lot of people are like, well, then why didn't she win the Electoral College? It all depends on the states that she won those electoral votes. I mean, or won the popular vote. Because yeah, you could win by 2.9 million, but in which states? You know, like you could sit there and win a big state like, I don't know, California, and you could get 2.9 million probably off of that. But if you don't win in some of those other states that are important, that a lot of people overlook, or a lot of people will say you need to win in order to win the election, and you overlook those states, a lot of times that's going to determine, okay, whether or not you have Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And I mean, the system, a lot of times people, you know, they criticize the system because it's flawed in a lot of ways, and it leads people to believe that we're in a true democracy when we're actually in a democratic republic. We're not in a true democracy because we have the Electoral College. But to break down how that works even more in terms of Electoral College, political parties, they nominate electors at their state convention. Sometimes that process occurs by a vote of the party's central committee. The electors are usually state elected officials, party leaders, or people with a strong affiliation with the presidential candidates. Now, this is the key point, and this is why this election matters. That 538 is comprised of the nation's 435 House representatives, 100 senators, and 3 electors given to Washington, D.C. So when you see, perfect example, when Barack Obama went into his second term, and when he came into the term, it was, I want to say it was Democratic, it was more Democrats in office, in power, in the House and the Senate. But then when you got to 2012, you had more people vote Republican. So then Republicans took over the House and the Senate. They had the majority, and that's why there was even more issues with Obama being able to get certain things passed, with kind of him just running into issues at every turn, because in those midterm elections, a lot of the Democrats who were in office, they lost their seats. And I don't want to make this a thing where it's like I'm more Democrat or more Republican, because I personally vote independent. I'm an independent voter. So I don't go based on party. I go based on who's the best candidate for the position. And so, but the point is, when we see the issues that we see in terms of opposition in the House and the Senate, and certain things not being able to move, one of the things to probably look at also in that whole the second term of Obama's administration was the whole issue with Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland being the nominee for the Supreme Court and the Republicans stalling that. Because, you know, Merrick Garland, he was pretty middle of the road. Even though he was a liberal, he was more of a moderate liberal. And so the thing is, the Republicans didn't want him in office anyway. And he wasn't even like really, I think Obama could have done better than that, because one of the things that I remember always watching on News One Now with Roland Martin, one of the things he would always say is that if Obama would have put a woman, a black woman, as the Supreme Court nominee, that would have put the pressure on the Republicans even more, because they already know that black women don't like Republicans. Most black women do not like Republicans because most Republicans don't respect black women as voters. When they go out and they recruit, a lot of times they don't necessarily tailor their message to black people, period, but they definitely don't tailor it to black women. And so that's why you saw black women be the most influential and powerful demographic in the voting population. They voted at a higher percentage in 2008 and 2012 than any other demographic that was out there. And so many black women voted for Hillary. But the point is, I don't want to make it a thing about that. It's really the conversation is more so about we have to go out and vote. When people say, oh, I don't see the point in voting, I get it. I get it, because a lot of times it seems like the vote doesn't matter. The vote doesn't count, even at the local, even at the state, even at the federal levels. Sometimes it seems like it doesn't matter because certain things don't change. But at the same time, if you aren't a part of the process, if you take yourself out of the process, that one vote could be the difference. And we've seen many elections. Because the thing is, if you got one person who's saying that, imagine that magnified. And then it becomes 100 votes that somebody's missing. And then 1,000, and then 10,000, then 100,000 that somebody could have had in order to beat a certain candidate who doesn't have the people's best interests at heart, and especially black people. Because let's call a spade a spade. Most of my listeners out there, we're black. I'm black. Clearly I'm black. You know what I mean? But the point is, a lot of times we are the forgotten ones in this voting process. But a lot of times we forget ourselves. Many among us forget how important we are. So that's why it's important that's one of the biggest reasons why it's important to vote in this midterm election. We determine the electoral college and who is voting in 2020 with who we vote for now. If we remain Republican-led by this particular Republican-led Congress and led presidency, then we're screwed come 2020. And the train is going to keep going in that direction. And again, I'm not trying to swing anybody one way or the other. Vote with your intellect. Vote and learn about the candidates that are running. Don't just vote because they're a part of the party. I'll give you a perfect example. And we're going to get into like the important races in 1 second. But perfect example, right here in Maryland, you have the incumbent Larry Hogan, who is a Republican, going up against his biggest competition is Ben Jealous, who formerly, well, you know, he's still a part of the NAACP, but he's a key figure in the NAACP. And his background is in civil rights. So you would say, okay, you know, as a black person, you probably think, okay, Ben Jealous would probably have more of my interests at heart. But at the same time, Larry Hogan has done well as a governor. I haven't necessarily had much complaints with Larry Hogan as a governor. There's been a lot of improvements to Maryland since he's been governor. So it's one of those issues where it's like, I could vote, because I used to vote Democrat, and I could go with the guy who clearly has, you know, black people in mind, or people of color, or people in disenfranchised states in mind. But at the same time, I could also look at it like, well, if it's broke, don't fix it. If Larry Hogan is doing well, whether he's a Republican or not, why necessarily vote against him? So that's what I mean about like just really informing yourself. Look at people's track records. Look at people's voting records when you go to vote for people. You know, look at the issues that mean the most to them. And know what your issues are as a voter. Know what means the most to you. And if a particular candidate is speaking to whatever your issues are, you vote for that candidate. If they're not, you don't. It's that simple. To me, especially as black people, we can't necessarily align ourselves so strongly just with Democrat, because that doesn't always work. I mean, look at how weak the Democrats were when it came to the last election cycle, when it came to trying to get Hillary in office. There was a whole lot of nonsense with that situation. Obama didn't do enough. President Obama did not do enough to rally the Democratic Party to really stand behind Hillary or stand behind the candidate that they were going to try to put into the office of the presidency. There were a lot of failures there. But again, that's the reason why it's important. And also looking right now, Brett Kavanaugh. Enough said. If that was a Democratic, we had a Democratic House and Senate, Brett Kavanaugh would have never made it. But because it's Republican led, that's why he's in there. With all his nonsense, with all the things that he believes in and all of his baggage, that's why he's in there. Because the job may or may not have been done in 2014. So please, moving forward, let's always remember how these elections, these midterms elections, whether we're talking 2018, 2022, 2026, these are some of the most important elections in the process. So anyway, really quickly, some of the most important races in the DMV. So in DC, the things that will be up, delegate to the U.S. House of Representatives, of course, Eleanor Holmes Norton. She's been in that position since 1991. She has quite a few competitors, but usually she wins. It's not necessarily a shoe-in. It's never a shoe-in because you never know. But I mean, she's the lead candidate, of course. For mayor, of course, Muriel Bowser. She won, I think it was over 81% of the primary vote. So more than likely, she will be reelected. You have DC Council Chair, at-large council member. The notable competition for incumbent Anita Bonds. What I've seen, like somebody who's been strongly supported, Dion Reader. And like I said, I don't advocate for any candidate, you know what I'm saying? I know who I would vote for. I don't live in DC, but I know who I would vote for if I were. But I'm just noting some of the naming some of the notables. Dion Reader, Ralph Chittums, who a lot of people may or may not know, but he was a frequent guest on News One Now with Roland Martin, and he was also one of the chairs of the Republican Party. I'm not sure if it was the Black Republican Party or whatever it may have been, but he was a key figurehead for the Republican Party, so he's also a competitor against Anita Bonds. Council reps for wards 1, 3, 5, and 6. DC Attorney General, U.S. Senator, U.S. Representative, State Board of Education reps for wards 1, 3, 5, and 6, and also ANC commissioners. A notable race that I wanted to point out, because this is a friend of mine who I used to work with. She's been she's grown to be a very prominent figure in the community, particularly in Ward 7, and that is Vita Rashid. She'll be running against Christopher Doc Hershey for ANC Commissioner of Single Member District 7E01. So I definitely wanted to highlight that. So if you're in that particular ANC Single Member District, keep an eye on that particular race. For DC people, early voting ends on Friday. The hours until then are 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. and the general election hours will be from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So for more information, visit dcboe.org. In Maryland, once again, I named Larry Hogan versus Ben Jealous. There are other people, but of course it's usually Republican versus Democrat. Those are usually the top vote getters. For U.S. Senator, incumbent Ben Cardin is going against Republican Tony Campbell. In the 3rd Congressional District, John Sarbanes, incumbent Democrat, going up against Charles Anthony, Republican. In the 4th Congressional District, which is mainly PG County, right here in PG County, incumbent Anthony Brown, Democrat, will be going up against George McDermott. The 5th Congressional District, incumbent Steny Hoyer will be going up against Republican William Devine. In the 8th Congressional District, incumbent Jamie Raskin, who's actually based in Tacoma Park. That area particularly covers a lot of Montgomery County and going up into, I think it's either northern or central Maryland. He'll be going up against Republican John Walsh. In PG County right here, it appears that Angela Also Brooks and Aisha Braveboy are both running unopposed for county exec and state's attorney. And in Montgomery County, the main race to pay attention to is for county executive. Robin Ficker, Republican versus Mark Elrich, Democrat for county exec. In Montgomery County, early voting ends November 1st, which is tomorrow. So your last day of early voting is tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. The general election hours are from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So visit elections.maryland.gov for more details. And in Virginia, the main races or the main things to pay attention to, I mean, we've been seeing all the ads, those of us in the DMV. We've seen Republican incumbent Barbara Comstock in the 10th Congressional District. She'll be going up against State Senator Jennifer Wexton. Like I said, we've seen Virginia is ruthless. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, when it comes to their ads, they are ruthless. They go at each other's necks. But anyway, in the 7th District, Republican incumbent David Bratt faces a challenge from Democrat Abigail Spanberger and Libertarian Joe Walton. The U.S. Senate race, Democratic incumbent Senator Tim Kaine is up against Prince William County Republican Party Chairman Corey Stewart. In Arlington County, incumbent independent John Vistad will take on Democrat Matt DeFerranti for a seat on the board, while incumbent independent Barbara Cannonen faces independent Audrey Clement. There is no early voting in Virginia. You know, I have my opinions on Virginia, but, you know, I'll keep them to myself because, you know, I got to show love to my Virginia people out there. But there's no early voting in Virginia. The polls open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And for more information, visit elections.virginia.gov. All right, so with that, we're gonna actually dedicate, before I go into the next segment, we're gonna actually dedicate our entire show next Wednesday, November 7th, to post-election day discussions, coverage of the big winners, and also talking about the steps that we need to do as people, as citizens, and especially as Black people after the vote. It's kind of like you got to look at it like Valentine's Day. You know, like you get all the love, you get all the flowers, all the candy, teddy bears, you know, the cards and the dinners and all of these special things on Valentine's Day. But what happens on February 15th? You know what I'm saying? What steps do you take after Valentine's Day? So election day is no different. So with that being said, let's not waste any more time. We're gonna go ahead and get into this right here.
All the fire engines in the world can't put out this inferno. It's the bars, 5 alarm blaze countdown. Only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media. Number 5.
Hey, yeah, we about to get this started. All of my girls act naughty. All of my bitches retarded. All of my caught it. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. Hey, we about to get this started. All of my girls act naughty. All of my bitches retarded. All of my caught it. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. Hey, We about to get this started. All of my retarded. Pop a perky, my darling. Body drank her water. Bad, my shorty. One of my baddest ratchets. She got the trophy, she won a Lombardi. Hey, bad, bitch, fat. Big, yeah, bust on all of them. Hey, magic, voila, disappear. Get ghosts on all of them. Hey, we do not sleep at the slumber. She naked up under that jumper. I scope her out like a hunter. I made it hot in the winter. My wrist froze up the summer. Hey, bow that yellow, come on. Then get on. 5 shots, 10 points, 2 assists. Yeah, I'm passing the solo. Hey, they roll one straight paper, no blush. Yeah, he don't do those. Hey, crushing your shorty like Elo. Pull out on you like hello. Red like the devil. All of my feel special. All of my feel special. Yeah. We about to get it started. 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 All of my girls love Cardi. 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 We about to get it started. All of my girls act naughty. All of my retarded. All of my Cardi. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. Hey, we about to get this started. All of my girls act naughty. All of my retarded. All of my Cardi. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. Hey, only bad welcome. Party high like Delta. Slumber party got ratchet. Serve Hennessy and checkers. Pour Henny on all their pajamas. Take it off, I'ma start throwing dollars. She thirsty, need water. Hit a power up, got stronger. In the party like Hercules. White like a man to please. Then I hit her with that 9-hand. Clothes off like a strip tease. You know that I did it with ease. 2 of my girls in between. I am the man of their dreams. We gon' the tail and just leave. Party with my shawty. Got light skin, got darkers. Got short ones, got tallers. Ain't sleep in till the morning. We gon' party hard till tomorrow. Gon' party hard till tomorrow. Ain't sleep in till the morning. We gon' the tail and just leave. We about to get this started. All of my girls act naughty. All of my retarded. All of my Cardi. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. Hey, we about to get started. All of my girls act naughty. All of my retarded. All of my Cardi. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. We about to turn up the stay over. Let's throw a slumber party. Hey.
Number 4.
All I want is loot. All I want is good bad. There ain't nothing new. I want what I want when I want it. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. I'm a bad man with a good heart. Triple up my lifespan with these millions that I'm gonna hustle for. Just call me bruh man upstairs, 5th floor. Tryna make that sandwich. Bread, cheese, lettuce, let it eat. Water clean pink, let it eat. I do what I do, what you call me daddy. Whoa, everybody rap about the same. Whoa, I just wanna give my dad the vanish. Whoa, 3 kids and they know I'm hot. Whoa, y'all can read about it in my pamphlet. Whoa, big deal, sure to get big chills. Rear view, spot them at the 10 mils. Numb feel when I gotta pay bills. I get it. Week after week, have to split it. Money will change up, but acting out, don't be a menace. I don't like these robbing conditions. I don't have a heart for it. We got a few mouths looking like I'm jaws coming. Full big cops looking like I've done it. Wish I did since the bank robbed anyway. You know what I mean. We all are some fiends that search for the green. They ran out of trees. Why you so mean? I'm out of my means. Wanna suck the life out of me, huh? Fully charged like my back's full of batteries, huh? Audemars on my arm like a fantasy, huh? Well, I'm a man, ain't no such thing as holding me back. All I want is loot. All I want is good bad. There ain't nothing new. I want what I want when I want it. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Rent too high, them they blew my mind. Money too dry, doesn't heat my eyes. Never cry no tears, get back up and strive. Never show no fears unless they all go blind. I can't apply shit, up in my shit. Bring mojito call exhaustion. Mama screaming out like oh shit. Where we bossing, dollars will be making noises. Keep it focused, like the homie Mo. Vision of the blurry slopes, slipping and dipping into Avengers of villains' attention just so I can regret the decision. Mentality driven, the money is healthy, but dysfunctional living is killing the rhythm. I caught the feeling, Holy Ghost and the drilling and dosing without a syringe and punctured it to the cranium to exact my revenge on the industry. Using my energy to ridden and they don't deserve the loot from everything they have written. But all I want is loot. All I want is good bad. There ain't nothing new. I want what I want when I want it. Run it up. Run it up. Run it
Number 3.
I just wanna dance, but everybody in the club so texting on their phones. Well, I think that's really crazy. Come across the room, me and you. I just can't deny it. You get me excited. Come across the room, me and you. I just can't deny it. You should come try it. Across the room.
What a night chilling with my crew. Me and you, we could do what you wanna do. Grinding on the dick, baby, do what it do. Can't take my eyes off you. Feeling on my body like you know me. Baby girl, number one, you my trophy. Got me into the feeling like it was a goalie. Gripping on your waist while you move slowly. Back to forward to back, yeah. Ease your mind, you're right on time, yeah. Want you grind for me. Baby girl, want you grind for me, yeah.
I really wanna shake it. Eyes on me, it's just like you see me naked. Move to the left, move to the right, vibes right. I'ma get you lost tonight. And as we move to the floor, you know I'ma put on the show. I'ma rock the boat, rock the boat. Work the middle, just a little. Tryna have a private party with your body. Moving on your wood, yeah, I feel the excitement. Everybody wants my body, but my body's wanting you. Everybody wants my party, but the party's here with you. Stick your key into my ignition. Let go of all your inhibitions. Across the room, me and you. I just can't deny it. You get me excited. From across the room, me and you. I just can't deny it. You should come try it. Across the room.
Number 2.
My babies look at me and cry. All I could do is lie. I tell them.
Trying to put food up on the table with no money, trying to get by. Kids screaming, Daddy, I'm hungry. I'm telling them it's coming and it hurts to lie. So I say, wipe your eyes, go to sleep. You'll have something when you wake up. Gotta make a run for this paper. Oh Lord, please save us from this poverty paradise. Lord have mercy. Trapped in this vampire life and I'm thirsty. Feeling unworthy, and it just irks me. Searching for answers, but where will the words be? Feels like everyone's got them but me. And I've been grinding, oh, I've been trying, but nothing worthwhile ever comes easy. So I'll keep fighting, oh, I'll keep grinding now. Trying to put food up on the table with no money, just trying to get by. Kids screaming, Daddy, I'm hungry. I'm telling them it's coming and it hurts to lie. So I say, wipe your eyes,
Go to sleep, you'll have something when you wake up.
Gotta make a run for this paper.
Okay. Oh Lord,
please save us from this poverty paradise.
Mama gon' get this paper, I know it's something to gain. My daughter ain't going hungry, I hustle to make the change. Grinding to meet the budget, still Royal Rumble with pains. And only God can judge me, I'm going against the grain. The oath of all, strictly just to get it. Blessings in disguise, I pray to God I never miss them. Mellow roasting this fire, already stumbled but gifted. I've been through hell, now I'm back. Already humbled through visions, wait. Them temporary layoffs, see. Hard work and dedication's gotta pay off, B.
We gon' get it so I never have to lie. This mother love unconditional, they never gon' deny. Mommy gon' hit the streets, do overtime at the job. I'm making them ends meet. Hate seeing my baby cry. Look in my baby eyes and give it all up to God. And finally I'm breaking even, I'm going against the odds.
Food up on the table, with no money, trying to get by. Kids screaming, Daddy, I'm hungry. I'm telling them it's coming and it hurts to lie. So I say, wipe your eyes, go to sleep. You'll have some when you wake up. Gotta make a run for this paper. Oh Lord, please save us. Hold up. This poverty paradise.
My sections 8 have nots, the mezzanines. In the hood with $1 and a dream, food stamps and them the microphone fade. Concerned with my welfare, you can't take my welfare. Don't speak about your agony, cause the black don't care. My black man tagged with life or killed by cops. Pimps and hustlers for vice or die from a gang sacrifice. Addiction depicting your lifeline slipping in the methadone clinic with amphetamines in it. I track the bars while your arms track scars. Starvation, Ethiopian mirage, please save me, God. My adolescence, no Saturdays with the dressing. The feast is with the weapon. In the hood, no half-stepping. My kids will wake up verbatim. The world, I hate them, milk is sour and low. And the hell is where we supposed to go? My paradise is poverty, honor me. We gain knowledge to speak with the wisdom to teach. Bless
Food up on the table, with no money, trying to get by. Kids screaming, Daddy, I'm hungry. I'm telling them it's coming and it hurts to lie. So I say, wipe your eyes, go to sleep. You'll have some when you wake up. Gotta make a run for this paper. I love this. Oh Lord, please save us from this poverty paradise.
Hey yo, I'ma give it up to my girl, that's my word, man. Dre Ray, Baltimore's finest, she holds this down. Hey yo, Drew Ski, low key, that's my Barry Moore, you know? Holla, baby. Hey yo, Rush by Law, my right hand man. That's my shooter.
Number 1.
I let the truth be told. Yeah, yeah. Truth be told. I let the truth be told. I knew you never really meant me well, so no, I'm not surprised at all. I know your pride won't let you see your wrongs, and not for sure I didn't make the call. Now I'm here where you dropped the ball, but guess I'm just the one they love to hate. Oh yeah, the summer's bittersweet, but I enjoy the taste. I needed way more room to grow, appreciate the space. You know they love you when they do what others only say. Yeah, I'm in a good place, I send my condolences. I know I'm dead to you. Pour out a little liquor, don't forget your rosaries. I did what was best for me, the size supposed to be. I couldn't babysit your work, pay the bills and buy the groceries. And somehow I get all the blame. I point the finger back, you frowning at the mirror, hoping for a smile to crack. Look, if I'm guilty, then I'm guilty. Got no pride with that, but I ain't about to hold my breath. Cause I gotta let the truth be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. And it's gonna be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. The truth be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. And it's gonna be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. And everybody say they rather know, so since you like to hear, here it go. You like to hear, here it go. Everybody say they rather know, so since you like to hear, here it go. You like to hear, here it go. Everybody say they rather know, so since you like to hear, here it go. You like to hear, here it go. Everybody say they rather know, so since you like to hear, here it go. You like to hear, here it go. I knew you never really meant me well, so no, I'm not surprised at all. I'm back to the old me. You know the one who didn't care for feelings, yeah. You know the one that used to call a dog. I try to change for y'all, I think it's safe to say that I ain't changed. Cause you on the same. You had the recipe for failure, had to get you out my mix. No better way to say the sample, leave the crabs in the barrel. Nowadays, you a leader if you follow. Look, I ain't never really been the type to borrow, but that's another story. They gon' ride with you today, to throw them stones at your first thing tomorrow. Look, I could be 100, but get all the blame for people without all the facts. You smiling at the mirror, hoping it don't frown back. Look, if I'm guilty, then I'm guilty. Got no problem with that, but I ain't about to hold my breath. Cause I gotta let the truth be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. And it's gonna be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. The truth be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. And it's gonna be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. And everybody say they rather know, so since you like to hear, here it go. You like to hear, here it go. Everybody say they rather know, so since you like to hear, here it go. You like to hear, here it go. Everybody say they rather know, so since you like to hear, here it go. You like to hear, here it go. Everybody say they rather know, so since you like to hear, here it go. You like to hear, here it go. I was wasting away, stuck in a day. Losing time, lost in your way. Way too long that I try to save you, when the truth is you'll never change. I was wasting away, stuck in a day. Losing time, lost in your way. Way too long that I try to save you, when the truth is you'll never change. Truth be told, I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told, and it's the truth be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. The truth be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told, and it's the truth be told. I let the truth be told. Let the truth be told, and everybody say they rather know since you like to hear, here go. You like to hear, here go. Everybody say they rather know since you like to hear, here go. You like to hear, here go. Everybody say they rather know since you like to hear, here go. You like to hear, here go. Everybody say they rather know since you like to hear, here go. You like to hear, here go.
It's time to get back to AJ Throwback and Bars, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. Starting at number 5, we had Sideshow Marley, Slumber Party. Shout out once again to Miss Razzle Dazzle for being one of the hardest working promoters for her artists. You know what I'm saying? At number 4, we had Don B the Artist with Loop. That was a re-entry because he actually was the first to top the 5 Alarm Blaze Countdown back in June. At number 3, we had Danae Joy featuring Renzo Bands with Across the Room. At number 2, Drea Renee featuring Jay Will and Tone Capone with Poverty's Paradise. And coming in once again, you just heard number 1 for the 3-peat, BZ Archibald with Truth Be Told. So congratulations to everybody who made the countdown. Congratulations to BZ Archibald once again for topping the countdown. Shout out to everybody who qualified for the countdown but may not have made it. Go Hard Mike Lee, Van Jess, Autumn LaBella, I think it's Adina Kari. I think that's her name, how she pronounces her name. Boss Man the God had also qualified, and I'm trying to think of the 10th person because I want to make sure I shout out everybody. Bear with me one second. And Tamara Bubble. Shout out to Tamara Bubble. She's been one of our most supportive people on the show as well. So shout out everybody who qualified for the countdown. Before we get into the community calendar, I definitely want to make sure I get in the birthday shout outs. Shout out Michelle, Deja, I hope y'all listening. Shout out to Sunshine. Today is her birthday, turning 4 years old. So happy birthday, Sunshine. On Friday, our very own Tayo from Talk with Tayo. If y'all don't listen to Talk with Tayo, please do. She comes on every Monday from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com. Very informative show. Her birthday along with my boy Detroit Red, aka Max, and also Chris Omer, who I went to college with, and one of my first interviews as an artist, Lady Kiss. They all will be celebrating birthdays on Friday, November 2nd. My homie Melvin, I went to Lecky Elementary School with. Norm Nixon, one of my mentors from Mayor Barry's Youth Leadership Institute and also of Union Temple Baptist Church right in Southeast DC. And my main man, Tony McWayne, celebrating birthdays on Election Day, November 6th. So shout out to them. So let's go ahead and get into this right here.
Let's see what's happening on the Bars community calendar.
Got a lot of stuff going on right here. Actually, today, 2 events going on right now here at the Shops at Iverson. The Prince George's County Health Department, in collaboration with Doctors Community Hospital, will be doing their Wellness on Wheels mobile health clinic today until 4 p.m. right here at the Shops at Iverson, 3737 Branch Avenue, Hillcrest Heights, Maryland. I believe the Mobile Health Clinic is right outside, right near Burlington, if I'm not mistaken. That's where I saw it parked at. They're staffed by a team of experienced and compassionate healthcare professionals, many from Doctors Community Hospital. They provide a wide range of services to people ages 18 and older, including diabetes screenings, cholesterol screenings, blood pressure screenings, and medication review and education. The cost is absolutely free. And if you want to get more information, because they do events throughout PG County, if you want to get more information and schedule a future appointment, you can call 301-DCH-4U. That's 301-324-4968, or visit dchweb.org/wow. Community of Hope AME Church is holding their Hope Fall Fest at Community of Hope today from 6 to 8 p.m. right here in the Shops at Iverson, lower level, 3701 Branch Avenue, Hillcrest Heights, Maryland. They will have candy, they will have a DJ, and for the kids out there, they got the Paw Patrol crew. So I know it's a lot of kids out there love Paw Patrol. Parents, you're in PG County, you close to Iverson Mall, bring them right here. Cost is absolutely free. Tomorrow, Catalyst Network Foundation Incorporated will be holding Womanomics, Paying It Forward, a meeting of the mind, sponsored by City First Bank and Industrial Bank. That will be starting at 6 p.m. with networking. Panel discussion begins at 7 p.m. and the after-work mixer at 8 p.m. And that will be at The Park, 920 14th Street, Northwest D.C. Esteemed panelists include Joyce Moorhead, Ernestine Morrison, Unique Jones-Gibson, Eris T. Scales, who we had right here on bars, and it will be moderated by Trey Barnett. The cost is $10 for members of partner organizations, $15 for guests for early registration, even though it's kind of escaping that period of early registration. For more info, please visit Womanomics, that's WOMANOMICS-CNF.eventbrite.com. Every Woman Is Me, a nonprofit organization which friend of the show, Tamika Merrill, is founder and CEO. They will be holding Girl Talk on Thursday, November 15th from 7 to 9 p.m. at Hyatt Place, Washington, D.C., U.S. Capitol, 33 New York Avenue, Northeast, D.C. Via a 6-panelist discussion feature platform of women representing all walks of life. The intention is to pinpoint relatable topics, educate, evaluate, and provide excellent resources which will help both women and young girls to continue excelling in all areas of womanhood. Panelists include Amanshe Price, Leah Johnson, Mecca Turner, Georgia Corey, Dr. Yolanda Lewis, and K.N. Jackson. The cost is $5. Sales end on November 8th. For more info, please visit eventbrite.com and search Girl Talk. And finally, we've been advertising it for a while now. The Economic Development Committee of the Fairfax County NAACP is holding their first annual Fairfax NAACP Veteran and Minority Business Expo Saturday, December 15th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Thomas Jefferson High School, 6560 Braddock Road in Alexandria, Virginia. The cost is $60 for vendors, $20 for additional tables. Attendees are encouraged to donate $7 for the Fairfax NAACP to continue their advocacy work in Fairfax County. For more info, contact Nikki Zimmerman at 571-309-2621 or email veterans@fairfaxnaacp.org or economicdev@fairfaxnaacp.org. Let's keep it moving. Can't just keep moving like that.
Words of wisdom to get you through the rest of your week. These are the bars for life.
Okay, so Jim Rohn of Law of Attraction Coaching. This is courtesy of my homie Randy Barrett. Hope he's listening or watching. He drops a ton of gems in this YouTube video called Focus on Yourself. But amidst talking about the need for self-knowledge and self-preparation, he says, you need both aspects for positive self-direction. Figuring out who you are and what you want and being prepared for the day you reach your goals. Being ready, being worthy. Becoming the person you need to be in pursuit of what you want. What good is an opportunity if you're not prepared to take advantage of it? It's no good. Won't do a thing for you. Be prepared. And I was going to get into this big, deep breakdown of it, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. always think about the saying, proper planning prevents piss poor performance. And it's always important to just be prepared for whatever you do. Be prepared for every opportunity that's going to come your way, because you never know when it's your time, and you want to be able to get in the right mindset and have everything that you possibly can in place. Nobody is ever 100% prepared for anything, but just being as prepared as you possibly can and speaking certain things over yourself. Knowing who you are, if you're a believer, knowing whose you are, and just moving in that direction. Speak it as if it already is, you know. And once it comes, you'll already be ready for it. Stay, like the saying goes, stay ready, you never gotta get ready. So, definitely want to shout out everybody who tuned in today. Tune in Facebook Live, tune in on the app, tuned in online. Appreciate every share, every like, every comment, every bit of participation. Once again, shout out to C.W. Allen for a wonderful interview today. Make sure y'all check out the Dream Baby EP Volume 1. It will be on streaming platforms on Friday, November 2nd. And also make sure y'all follow him across the board at the THECW Allen. So make sure y'all support him and check him out. He is a dope artist, dope brother right there. Make sure y'all keep tuning in today. Different Mind Show is on from 6 to 8 p.m. and Grind Season Radio is on from 8 to 10 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com. Again, next week we will be back with post-election day discussion, coverage, all of that. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Hopefully we have some very special guests. You know what I'm saying? A couple of mentors of mine. I'm trying to pull in another guest so we can add layers to the conversation. But I appreciate everybody. Once again, I love every last one of y'all. Team Bars, y'all come through strong every single week. Love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all. Can't say it enough. Remember, we are the official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond, and we're going to close on a dope note. You know what I'm saying? Love this song right here. Brand new song from one of our biggest supporters of the show. This is Jay the Lioness with Dear Queen. And we will see y'all next week with the official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond. I'm saying beyond and bars at the same time. This is Bars. See y'all next week. Y'all have a good week, y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Love is a four-letter word that's hard to explain. This song is for those who never had the perfect example. Look, know some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken to tears. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Know some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken to tears. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Hold your head up, yeah, even though you fed up. She say, respect ain't hard, my dude. That's all I want, for you to be A1 and love me just this once. But nah, you just wanting your cake and to eat it too. Like I'm supposed to be faithful when you out here doing you. 5 texts in your phone, you still don't tell the truth. Then you telling me to trust you when I'm supposed to play the fool. All I do is go to work, make sure the house is in line. But you busy with these holes on your mind, why should I even cry? All I do is try to get rid of my anger. Smoke weed to find peace, with my patience is wearing thin. So to God, I think I had it with men. Pack up your inch, don't let the doorknob hit you. With a good Lord split you. This the part where you hug and kiss and try to finesse. Begging please, saying sorry, I'll fix it, make it correct. Since she love him, she gon' let him come back. What happens next? It's the same cycle playing it back. What you expect? It's the power of the snake in effect. Sister, you bit, know your worth, queen. Know some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken to tears. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Know some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken to tears. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Hold your head up, even though you fed up. Yeah. See what you tolerated in the beginning, you and your feelings. Want them to be different, it's kinda late if it's never ending. Brought it on yourself, he showed you who he was, now you tripping. You can't change a man who just ain't willing on any given. I understand you lacking yourself and want attention. Want someone to give you what you ain't giving, you'll end up in. Self-love is the best love, but you don't understand that cause you ain't felt love. Since the age of 5, abuse was affection. And in high school, they highlight imperfections. And everyone after that brought an erection. And your elders always told you to be patient. But nobody told you value yourself and know your worth. You can't love nobody right if you ain't loving yourself. If you don't know how to treat you, don't expect someone else. We all broken from the past, but deserve happiness. And that's real love. Know some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken it is. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Know some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken it is. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Hold your head up, even though you fed up. I'm facing the mirror. I'm loving myself. I'm happy with all my flaws. I'm earning my wealth. My imperfections and scars is healing so well. I dealt with the pain. I dance in the rain. No longer will I accept the negative shade. I'm moving forward with life, the blessings I gain. Truth in the pudding, baby. I'm shedding light on this road. I'm royalty, hold the crown. A real queen on the throne. Let them know about it. Some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken it is. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Know some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken it is. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Know some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken it is. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Know some queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken it is. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Hold your head up, even though you fed up. Queens who be facing their fears. One love up and broken it is. It get better, sis. Want the love, but it's harder to give. Cause these kings act like boys and men. It get better, sis. Hold your head up, even though you fed up.
Bars, 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 bars.
And that's it.
I did it. Mommy did it?
Yes. I do it.
Oh.
You want to say the bars?
You want to do bars?